It's been a while since I made a video about one of the infamous DeviantArt users of mass logging and cartoon abuse recently in over months. I have mostly dealt with personal life issues and some shit. So, I should find something new to make rants and go crazy on in, but I think it is better off lay off rant videos so I can make a video about something special. Well, not too special that it might deal with bizarre edits for the rest of the video. Let's be honest. I have been thinking about, besides making rant videos and one of my junk videos, trying to think what videos I should make, whether review in certain shows or media, and I ran out of ideas that my brain is turning fried like chicken. All of a sudden, I have the brightest idea that I decide to make videos of with some sort of countdown or list of what not to allow to make videos about. Here, that's the screen title for those who saw it on a title before the premiere or something, and I couldn't come up with a title. Here, I have a little different today, since I have been making rants over the years. Well, besides some junk videos I have, people would probably send me video requests involving shows or media they don't like or even try to review stuff they love, infamous ironic users, or stuff like that. However, some videos that I may not start making videos that are essentially too controversial, tiresome, or even beating dead horses reason that people never lay the fuck off until out of existence those who despise overrated stuff.
There he is beating that dead horse! Get him!
Not that I don't do requests anyway, so I kindly ask you to knock it off, unless something did awfully happen, that certain users commit crimes or do anything remotely stupid. I can make any videos for the sake of unpopular opinions and entertainment, but I'll be comfortable saying that, even if I wanted to make a video about something else, I have one idea of not wanting to make a video about it just to get out of my chest. I already decided a long time ago to make a video I won't cover on shows, games, movies, and even users. At least, probably for the best and good cause and to have a better life rather than bashing on shit that I don't like or just getting tired. I watched one video of Friendly Space Ninja, who makes a lot of valid points about CW shows and shit. That video gave me an idea that I thought I would do the same without basically copying and paste shit and going other routes to make my own videos. You thank him for giving me an idea and using it for why I won't be bothered to make a video about it. And you're free to watch his channel, if you're interested, in the description. To make it quick, I have honorable mentions that I have no intention or interest in making any video about certain media that is either too controversial, disturbing, or just tiresome to make a video about. Especially on internet trolls like YouTube troll police that contain troll feeding who just come here for attention and waste time to make a video about it. So, please don't ask me to make a video about internet trolls. And neither do other users like PTBF2002, 05 Stone, K Jake Stone, Justice Squid, and one of them that they never learned, and too many people bash the shit out of them with crappy fill-in memes and use Caillou to harass and witch-hunting them to no end. And pretty much overrated cartoons and shit with this poor ratings or just controversial. You get my picture. With that out of the way, let's sit back and enjoy the show to watch me, while I'm not gonna make any videos about it. Ready, set, go. Number 10, My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Oh boy. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is an infamous cartoon that a lot of people have adored the show over the years, even after the show ended back in October 12, 2019. The same year's show premiere was on October 10, 2010, and the show has been running for 9 years. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic is known as the fourth incarnation of Hasbro's My Little Pony franchise. Now, I haven't watched My Little Pony Friendship is Magic over the years. Well, except that I have seen some of them, and then I couldn't catch up and unlikely wanted to invest that shit again for the reason. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic has to be one of the most overhyped cartoons the way they glorified the shit out of this show for both kids and overgrown adults out there who were so obsessed with this shit. And then we dealt with rabid bronies who treat this show like it's the second coming of Jesus and lose their shit every time the show is running, and so does the character with cute looking design and personality. And even disturbing content, those who make fucked up content involving animals and humans with straight up bestiality. Do I need to explain anything about that shit? Yep, My Little Pony friendship is magic is pretty high standards. The one cartoon community exploits their fame to get whatever they want, as long they treat their beloved character like real people, fan-made content and whatever that is. Something tells me they wanted to over-glorify this show to no end, that is for sure. And you know what, I can consider that My Little Pony friendship is magic is not fucking worth making it. Let me explain. While I can consider this show overhyped as hell, I find that shit is pretty tiresome to make a video about this show and it probably put me to sleep once I start making videos. Not only does it has more than 4 seasons, but at least most of the people lost interest in that show at some point after season 5 came, but it is also pretty pointless. Besides, each episode has to teach moral, like someone have to discipline their own children for something that happens and teach the lessons for the sake of the plot and show, despite it's not an educational kids show. It is bizarre that most people were more invested in morals than watching the shows that people cared about, just like they were aiming for shipping. Most of the cast was either somewhat boring, had bad character development, uninteresting, or just bitterly Mary Sue. The plot makes little to no sense, etc. and pretty much seasonal ruts, especially after season 5 where a character starts to flamborization, a small, half-baked redemption like Starlight Glimmer that I don't need to talk about her, and the series finale is not that good. Well, at least they were little managed to put on good notes. Well, regardless, one of the main villains is Karma Overkill. I get a lot of fans of this show who adore it all because of their beloved Tara Strong, which I do not need to talk about her for a lot of awful shit back then. They love this voice actress with a passion, mostly because she's way too good at her roles, mainly Twilight Sparkles. And so does the rest of the roles she played. And it's not just Tara Strong, but also Lauren Faust, who is the show's creator as well. I can see people were there for their precious Tara Strong and Lauren Faust for a loony fans reason, but at least I can appreciate the latter for building up the elemental plot and childhood series for writing an animator program. And as for the fandom's part, I felt like it is beaten to death, given they bitching about fandom over the years and bashing the shit out of bronies and shit. Yes, My Little Pony fandom is fucking horrible and disgusting shit, don't get me wrong, but this fandom has barely same fans that aren't bizarre or gross shit, creepy obsession with these characters and so on. Everything about the fandom has a cesspool of gross content, treated opinions as facts, shitty art, recoloring, etc. and that fandom is way beyond toxic as usual. Even if I wanted to make a video about it, I'd make it sound like I wanted to kick them, while they down to the horses, again, no pun intended, and bombarded shit-talking bronies to the extreme. And so that doesn't deserve to gain my attention, and I can't be bothered to make a video about it. Not even close. Regardless, this show is overhyped by then. Oh, and by the way, I used to be bronies when I was young, and then I outgrew it, and probably not worth checking it out right now. For the show, that is. That being said, My Little Pony friendships is magic is the only ones I won't be making videos of, even if it is too overrated. I'm sorry, but I am not interested in making a video of this showing the fanbase. Both are too irrelevant these days, beaten to death, and this is more enforced. Oh, I forgot to mention, I heard there are other generations of My Little Pony, like I said earlier, but they were more interested in friendship is magic and don't seem to realize Generation 1 is the one that came first, before friendship is magic ever come to light. Not that important for that ones. So yeah, I never expect I put this show in the 10 lists, so it's kinda fitting why I put it here and I doubt I can say about this. The less talk about this show and the god-awful fandom with gross shit further, the better. Moving on. Number 9, School Days. Well, I have a lot to say about this anime, but I doubt I would, so bear with me when I say this. School Days has to be the most controversial and infamous anime of all time, considering many characters has a shit of unlikable, disgusting personalities, bland, god-awful plot, and the list goes on. Especially some guy named Makoto Itao, the biggest piece of shit who treats his friend like shit, manipulative, whiny, and even bland at times. When I heard this anime first time back then, I thought it was a little indifferent and curious about what everyone fussed about School Days in a naive way. But after I watched one of the clips and article, that shit is hell of a disturbing as fuck. Just what the fuck people in School Days work are they thinking? I feel like school gays are written like god-awful fanfiction, the ones who have a male character with harems and do anything disturbing activities and treat them like sex slaves. Or hell, some cringeworthy lovely-dovely fanfiction with a combination of guys for our ship tropes bullshit. The point is, while I have no ill bash the shit out of anime, even for controversy, making a video about this shitty anime is futile and a waste of space. Besides, School Gaze is a cringeworthy anime that the main protagonist, Makoto without just a plain awful character with zero redeeming qualities, treats his girlfriend like shit, creepy weirdness, and so on. Plus, he cheats on his girlfriend just to get more attention for the sake of the harem and ends up backfiring. Now, it may be controversial, but that shit tries way too hard, and it doesn't have any plot that never explained fucked up romance, and a frustrated plotline, especially that god-awful ending from what I heard in line. Never mind, School Gaze has no plot, mind you. Another thing is that shit is way too controversial, but there's more than one specific reason. Alright, School Gaze anime is based on a game reimagined as a manga and a anime adaptation, but neither of them is better, so don't convince me otherwise. The series looks bland, uninteresting, and disturbing at the same time for this anime. The designs or hyper-stylized visuals is not that great, with dull designs, and the character is rather flat or just painfully unlikable as shit. For some, this will result in the unintended consequence of having some characters look fairly similar to others, thus hardly distinct, flashy, or all that interesting on their own. And the plot makes little to no sense that never explains and lots time to have cringeworthy romantic drama for the sake of plot regardless. This is what the harem genre is talking about. I'm sure a lot of people consider this anime average, but I just can't, because I don't find it good series with overall dull, uninteresting, and unlikable with little to no redeeming qualities. But is it worth making a video about it? Absolutely not. Not only is it controversial like I said before, but it's pretty pointless to make videos to the point that people would watch me go crazy and hit like bombing just to agree with me, regardless of my thought in School Gaze and especially that god-awful protagonist. I'm actually glad Makoto without eyes in one episode, so it's hard to feel bad for this creep and no sympathy for me that he is a pile of filth for being an unlikable asshole. If you ask me, that is fantastic, because School Gaze are not worth making videos about it, and I hope for your sake, mates.
Be gone, fuck!
Number 8, Camp Camp. Camp Camp is one of the most interesting. Why I have to put this on the list for a tiresome reason to make any videos, even I kinda wanted to. To make it breakdown, you may be asking me about my thought in Camp Camp and probably asking me to go watch it and see what it is like with character development and some shit. Well, in case Camp Camp is a web series, I don't find that shit interesting, and it is painfully bland as shit. Now, before you start posting Butford and threatening comments for saying this, let me explain, while I don't have to make these videos. Camp Camp rather looks dull, the character is pretty tiresome with a flat and flashy or stereotypical personality, a boring plot and even a bland protagonist like Maximum. When I heard this back then, people were hyped up for this web series, mostly because of not just the character or the plot but also voice acting like Yuri Lowenthal, Elizabeth Maxwell, Travis Willingham, etc. far as I can tell. To be fair, they thought it was bad animation when they saw the first trailer and found it uninteresting and unfunny. Even when I once saw the poster. However, after release, they immediately praise it like the second coming of Jesus and claim that it's the most outstanding Rooster Teeth animated series ever made. I can see they built camp elemental and character development and all that stuff. I appreciate the effort, but despite this, I'm still considering Camp Camp wasn't interesting to me, and I painfully avoided it like the plague. And I'm sure people get upset when I say this, but as mentioned, Max is one of the bland protagonists, and his character development wasn't that great in the slightest, with little balanced. The series tried to convince you he's interested, especially growing to shine a little, and even convinced you to feel sorry for Max as well, but from what I see, he's pretty unlikable, winging, and dull overall. Max's personality is being an edgy and cynical kid who has always been in a bad mood for no reason. Well, except when he has his moment and later finds out his parent must be neglecting him since they just want him gone. However, I still consider Max is bland overall, so don't try to convince me otherwise. The thing is, it may be currently on hiatus and has not greenlit anything since season 4. Camp is kinda overrated, but not too overrated as Robai, to be honest. I get people were hyped up toward this series, all because of, again, voice acting and camp elemental. And so does one of the edgy or cute personalities that they would adore the shit out of it. Camp is like Camp Lazlo but with mature theme comedy adult-oriented cartoon web series, and dark humor on there. People constantly demanded that they go watch it, because it's a really good and fun exciting series, especially those who lost interest in either series or just Rooster Teeth and get busy once someone refused. I don't think it's worth making about it much, as I find Camp an interesting web series. I just can't. It's pretty illogical, hard to scout, and I don't know how to fucking explain anything and definitely repeat myself. Besides my habit, that is pretty difficult when it comes to ranting and shit for the rest of the video, but you get my point. Camp was painfully and funny and overhyped whenever the trailer happened, or the plot was revealed. Regardless, they were focused on Robai and left Camp in hiatus and unlikely to have a plan for the series. Besides, there is no telling when Camp was inspirational to that shit is still slow pacing from time to time, irrationally and doubtfully trying to make it a point and leave it empty-handed. I doubt I'm thinking about watching it or have any desire just make a worthless video for views. Oh, did I mention that one of the actors is openly KickVic? Well, it happened 3 years ago, when Vic Mignogna was fired from Funimation and Rooster Teeth for a slanderous reason the way it's Mariska rolling her cronies Lydia, who is long gone, picked a slander that Vic claimed to be sexual assault someone in no proper researching and Funimation and Rooster Teeth immediately fired him. And even one of his ex-friends stand him in the back and paint him he's a bad guy situation. And not only that, but I also heard that Rooster Teeth was revealed to be an abusive company asshole who treats their employee like shit, homophobic slurs, once crunch time, and all the crap. And even desperately tries to stay on other people's good side with half-baked apologies bullshit once their true nature shows. Not that important, so go watch these videos about Rooster Teeth and Vic Mignogna's situation in the description, if you're interested. And the document about Rooster Teeth too. Anyway, it's a big no for me, and don't ask me to make a rant, review, or anything else. You're better off finding someone else who makes videos about camp out there. Not me. At least I can consider making a video about Robai soon, for the whole ranting instead of this. Number 7, The Ghost and Molly McGee. Alright, let's be honest on this. The Ghost and Molly McGee was one of the best Disney Channel series ever watched. Well, best is the keyword, but that's what people were working up about this show. Basically, since Disney hit the successful animated series of Amphibia and Meow House, they greenlit the show, and people were hyped up about, mostly one of the character designs like Molly McGee herself, the supernatural genre, beloved voice acting, and even the trailer way before the premiere. I'm pretty sure people try to convince me to go watch it and then make a video for views for my good taste. Well, the problem is, I'm not interested in making videos on that show and no way in hell covering that show. I thought it could be interesting on The Ghost and Molly McGee, but I could not care less, because it is rather bland and has little interest to check out the way cost too overhyped for a generic reason. Not that I stopped caring about looking forward to new cartoons for a shirt cartoon abuse reasons. It's best to invest my others talking what I like and not to deal with overhyped bullshit for a boring plot and some crap. I'll appreciate a voice actor like Ashley Burke, who seems to be a good role for Molly McGee and play the fun character. She's rock, as her talent work, and is professional at it. And I can see most of the people adore the shit out of her just because she plays the main characters good looking. And so do her design and personality. And that is it. Therefore, ever since the show's premiere, it became immediately overhyped compared to one of the successful shows. Though what's surprised is a surprise when it comes to becoming too overhyped, but there's more than that. I am ill to consider that most of the characters are painfully tedious, and I don't see any special. Maybe for a few, but not for all of it. The character isn't that great, and one of them has generic stereotype characters with a little drawback and no balance, ones with Jewish awkward best friends and out-of-bitch school cliches. I get people like these characters just because of, again, cute designs, personality, and even receive character development that felt rushed and shit the way people start to glorify them to no end. Oh, even the ghost who intends to make everyone miserable fails miserably, because the main protagonist is way too optimistic and best friends with odd friendships. It could be interesting for the plot, but everything felt kind of slow pacing and then made little to no sense, even if it has some bonding moment for that one. Not even close. Now imagine, if something grew more pacing and exciting event with a plot twist revealing the likes of Amphibia and Caillou. Both have solid story elemental and decent character development and emotional ending and put it on a good note with good chemistry. That would be dynamic and better that way. Well, besides some flaws like shipping Shoehorn and the plot hole. However, in the case of this show, even if it does something dynamic, I would still be painfully considered tedious and wearisome. I'm sure people sway me that this show has potential and is interesting, but I just can't. It's painfully uninteresting to me. Moreover, Molly McGee has to be one of the generic pure-hearted protagonists in the slightest, considering her optimism equal to special treatment. Something tells me she is soft as hell, given she constantly befriended the enemy with no drawback and treated them as family in non-blood related. At least, Molly McGee doesn't always befriend enemies most of the time, unlike the infamous Steven Universe. Whatever it is, it won't matter, not even she has her moment like she has a ghost superpower. And what is the point of hyping up toward a generic kids show with a supernatural theme and people praise it too much, like sort of Gravity Falls? If I cover that show for the videos, people will praise me for having the same taste as them and probably go ballistic once I decide to make a negative video in their beloved show. It's just not. It's nothing new or unique.
But Bratz, you have to make a video about the Ghost and Molly McGee. This show is so awesome, with amazing character development and heartwarming moments. The show is not boring, it's a great show. And she even has ghost power in the series finale. You have to watch and make videos, because the show has a lot of potential and...
Automatic no.
No matter what you try to persuade or force me to do, I'm definitely not making a video about this show. It's goddamn pointless and useless to talk shit or, especially, positive videos to satisfy them. I just stopped caring about looking forward to new cartoons the way it gets immediately overhyped like the plague. If anything, the show was there to watch the show, as long it's either cute design, personality, or just a supernatural theme, but people chose the former too and had little interest in investing the rest of the plot. From what I have seen online, most of the people were over-glorified shipping material between Molly and Libby and Molly and Indria, and it is clear they are more interested in shipping than the actual plot, motivation, or, hell, even quality of this show and force one of them to become canon and get very excited for the tiniest things for shipping. And then, when someone named Oliver showed up and seemed to serve as Molly's love interest, most of the LGBT shippers went at the ship for it and killed ships for Natero happens. That's another reason I have no plan to watch the Ghost and Molly McGee, since shipping Shoehorn that they are obsessed with. Unless it probably meets the same fate as the Owl House for LGBT-phobic reasons. So, right now, I'm not covering that show, and do not send me video requests in this for views that I stopped caring about looking forward to new cartoons and moving on to my other things that aren't too overhyped garbage. Just buzz off, don't irritate me for this, and move on with your life. Alright, next. Number 6. Guy. The only user I can never make videos about this infamous Guy for the topic, considering he is beaten to death and shit. Everything about him was nostalgia Bratz, when he has sheer agony against modern Disney and over-glorifying classic Disney and gets pissed as hell once someone disagrees with him or talks sense to him. And he makes terrible reviews and hot takes, too. Regardless, he only has a few filling gaps he has. And even he has a history of harassing and threatening other users at the same time. Even then, I have zero plan to make a video about Guy, considering not only who will never learn and quite irrelevant, but too many people are still bashing him to death and never seem to realize that but for hate them or mocking shit doesn't make them professional or edgy with terrible calling out. But for hate memes or hate art shit, for the matter. And they definitely want him gone, not just lose all the social platforms, but his life as well. I don't have anything else to say about this dude further, and don't slander or accuse I'm defending him, just because I won't make a video on him that I have heard everything about him, and best to move on from him. The less talking shit about this cartoon abuse, the better. Moving on. Number 5, Teen Titans Go. Well, here is it. I have been waiting to say something just to know why I'm not gonna make Teen Titans Go videos. Teen Titans Go, well known for the infamous DC superheroes show, whereas a rather straight up comedy rather than an action series, and people are not too pleased with this, and everything gets worse and worse. And even cash cows, that network was so desperate to gain more attention and entertain with quirkless comedy. The only because they were hate watching and couldn't be bothered to realize for seconds. I have not paid attention to this show, but this show has a cesspool of a fart joke, unfunny, the plot makes little to no sense, many unlikable characters, and false advertisements. And hell, cash cow, as I said. Teen Titans Go has been airing for a long time. That represents the direction Cartoon Network was headed, and a door by network toward this show that schedule was skewing all over again. The show was a modernized generic cartoon of randomness and slice of life elements despite supposedly action superheroes and barely having anything to do with the original series itself. Even supposed parody shows and cringeworthy moments at times. I get people who paint Teen Titans Go characters as flanderization because they have no connection or are unfaithful to the original with generic goofy, disgusting, annoying, and mean-spirited, and claim Teen Titans Go is a disgrace to their original. Disregarding that, they are still watching Teen Titans Go despite hating this show and gaining much attention today. It's weird, if you ask me. Enough talking shit about Teen Titans Go and making it sound like I ran on an infamous parody show. And another reason why I refuse to make a video about Teen Titans Go. Well, it's because of the goddamn hate them. That reason is rather bizarre as shit, but just bear with me on this. Not only is Teen Titans Go fucking too overrated, but it is beating dead horses. Given to many overgrown teenagers or adults who have been shit on that show over the years and took it way too seriously and never shake it off. Whenever I stumble on the internet, people constantly complain about Teen Titans Go all day and night and treat it like it's the end of the world since its existence. They tend to make a lot of hate memes and hate the art in this show for shit. And goes far as a god-awful rant with this show and expects them to blindly agree with them and copy and paste shit from their beloved cartoon reviewers. I can see people were waiting for me to make a video about Teen Titans Go to satisfy them with obsessive headbanger for beating dead horses and watching me go crazy and shit. Well, newsflash, that is not going to happen, and I refuse to make this shitty video about Teen Titans Go. Do you think I am interested in making a video just to please and satisfy rabid haters and Teen Titans 2003 stans? Do you? Well, too bad the Teen Titans Go video will not see the light of day anytime soon. As a matter of fact, you guys blame Teen Titans Go for your problem and shit that has nothing to do with your headbender cartoons. Regardless, they were milking Teen Titans Go. The creator must end the show in their own terms or just network bullshit who screwed them over. Therefore, I have seen that the dreadful site, There Is Hate group of Teen Titans Go has been around for a long time and claims to be criticism purpose when in reality, they have overall blinded hatred with cringeworthy hate art and hate memes with filling gaps crap and get messy once they criticize them for annoying hypocrites and too stubborn to realize Teen Titans 2003 is not coming back anytime soon. And so, there is no point in making a video about it, since it is full of nostalgia Bratz and they just won't stop till eventually cancelled or ended. That said, you can stay mad all you want, because Teen Titans Go is my blacklist to make a video for beaten to death reasons, and you're not my parents or any of that. And leave me alone that I don't take any video requests on your headbender cartoon. Number 4, the Powerpuff Girls. Okay. The Powerpuff Girls were my longtime cartoon fan since I was a kid, the way Craig McCracken was in it. He was my childhood creator, and I can appreciate his work in entertaining kids, just like his wife. I'm sure people out there tell me to go make a video about classic Powerpuff Girls and say the show is perfect and claims the show was too good with amazing characters and some sort. and even people watch me go batshit crazy in Powerpuff Girls 2016 with a cesspool of massacre characters, god-awful villains, bland characters, gross shit, and just reboot over us all. The classic is good, and the reboot is bad. However, that's definitely not the case for both of them. Says what you will, but I don't find classic Powerpuff Girls a perfect show, considering there's a problem with the show with a spool, plot hole, etc. It's not like this show is a masterpiece with a 10/10 score or something. That Powerpuff Girls were never perfect, and I don't see any special about this show. And so does the character and everything else, especially the main trios that I don't see as flawless angels with some sort of cute and personality spotlight. Granted, this is the status quo is God talking about for humor purposes and shit, but it's just there, and none of the stuff is too perfect. Season 5-6 is not that great because of flanderization, and one of the characters is pretty unlikable. Not someone took over who was a sex offender and did not do a good job how to write a character. So there, that is all I can think of the classic Powerpuff Girls. Well, except Bubbles, who is a hell of an annoying character, even before her flanderization, and you can't change my mind about her. And as for the reboot counterpart, I have no will to talk shit about the infamous fucked up cartoons, so let's say this show is a mess as hell, and the character has a lot of unlikable, bland villains and gross as hell. Well, especially Blossom's love interest, who was a creepy self-insert character, and the twerking scene. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Plus, the reboot counterpart is nothing but pretty and faithful to the original show, and I'm sensing that there are little to no redeeming qualities, and the show is already causing more damage beyond repair. Well, except maybe for the intro and nothing else I can think of. It's just plain bad with a cringeworthy show with a shit of a fart joke, sexism, ugly design, and all that bullshit. And honestly, I doubt I have the plan to make a video about Powerpuff Girls in general for the sake of views and good taste to satisfy them. For one, aside from the quirky moment, I stopped caring about this classic Powerpuff Girl and chose not to for a pointless video. And the other, it is way beating dead horses for a dreadful 2016 counterpart. Besides, Powerpuff Girls is overrated and puts me under stress in exchange for many views and blaming me for my poor taste status quote for disagreeing with them. Let's put it that way and not juice up overhyped nostalgia cartoons. Oh, I forgot to tell you that there is more media shit with Powerpuff Girls Z, Powerpuff Dance Pants, aside from ugly ass design and shit, and even crossover with Teen Titans Go. Not that important because of the deal with rabid haters of Teen Titans going PPG reboot bullshit. And from what I heard, there is a second reboot, this time Craig McCracken, who is returning as the creator, director, and producer just to fix everything and bring back the charm for the Powerpuff Girls. I'm sure people are really excited to have their beloved creator back as Powerpuff Girls, and not only that, this time continuity rather than episodic, which status quo is God, as people are fond of continuity. Too bad that I stopped caring about looking forward to new cartoons and had no intention of watching this new reboot of the Powerpuff Girls. If you ask me, I kinda stopped caring for Powerpuff Girls in general, if I'm being real with you. But at least there's a quirky and charming moment, unlike Teen Titans 2003. Regardless, there is a better Cartoon Network show than just Powerpuff Girls. I don't have to say anything else, and I just chose not to make a video in the Powerpuff Girl franchise for the time being. It's probably for the best, and let's move to the next list. Number 3, The Last of Us Part 2. For the record, I never played The Last of Us series, especially Part 1. I heard it is pretty good, building up emotional, dramatic, and elemental, and Joel and Ellie's bonding. And Part 2 widely had a lot of backlashes the day game came out. Everything with a cesspool of unlikable characters, flanderization and character assassination, god-awful plot, woke character, etc. And even the whole leaks showed even before it came out and confirmed that beloved character Joel Miller got killed off by the hands of the infamous Abby with poor character development and a half-baked backstory. And this game has little to no redeeming qualities either, and it's just plain awful and wastes potential. So, I have the benefit that I have a lot to say about this further despite my sort of top 3 list. because I have no will to talk shit about this game, considering it too controversial, beaten to death, and even overhyped at the same time. Plus, overused memes involving Metacritic scores and shit that people were too blinded hatred of it. And let's not talk about the Game Awards 2020, because it's not that important and I feel bad for an actor who was part of the Last of Us series and sent a lot of death threats for playing the character they hate, especially Laura Bailey. Nothing new, and nothing changes. The better not to go crazy on that game and keep it short. Moving on. Number 2, Caillou. Let's face it, I can start going crazy with this when it comes to rabid haters bullshit, but I honestly have my limit to do so and probably not go any further with big reason, despite the number 2 list, but just go with it. Caillou is one of the infamous kids showing overall unlikable, dull, and all the crap with supposedly education show. Well, mainly the titular character, who is well known for being a spoiled brat, annoying, Gary Stu, and throwing a tantrum whenever he doesn't go his way, and of course, he's Karma Houdini. Hence, Caillou never gets punished just because he's a child with good boy claimers and forgives too easily for that one. And none of the characters is better, they are dull and uninteresting with flat personalities and generic cliches, good friends with no drawback. Hell, even many people despise this show with a passion, and made them not want to have children watch it, because it put them on bad influence with bad role models. While I don't care much for Caillou and Noel Edbener, making a video about Caillou is fucking pointless. The hatedom treats this show like it's the spawn of Satan and filled with cartoon abuse who never lay off. Even the show got cancelled a long time ago and the departure of PBS Kids, although it was later picked up by Cartoon Network and moved to Cartoonitis. Therefore, it overlaps with hate art, hate memes and disturbing activities to make them feel better. Something tells me people were too excited to make a video about Caillou and express their hatred of the show and the character, myself included. Even if we all agree that Caillou is a terrible show, except for some who actually like that show for an unpopular reason, it won't matter that people would praise someone for headbangers toward Caillou and use opinions as facts for that ones. With saying agree, nice rant, and all that crap with a bad rant script of X more Y. I just can't end better off without investing in Caillou because of beaten to death. That's why Caillou is a textbook definition full of overgrown cartoon abuse, takes cartoons way too seriously with god-awful animated atrocities, etc., and made me decide not to touch on that. I have seen online that Vyond, Akado animate community, has been making grounded videos out of Caillou for shit and has gained a lot of attention and popularity for grounding. Well, it's not because of funny and entertainment but because of Edbener for the titular character and goes apple-shit crazy with child abuse videos of punishment and assault videos. Something tells me people who enjoy child abuse videos make me sick in my stomach when they praise this and find it cool, when it is far from it. People who take Caillou too seriously must be barely better things to do and choose to bash the shit out of him with crappy grounded videos and any pointless videos with dead meat videos bullshit. I can go on about this, but that shit is not that important and already covered in one video, so go watch it in the description, because that puts me in the fucking sleep when I'm about to repeat myself. But yeah, I doubt I have the plan to make a video about this infamous kid show because of overhated and beating dead horses, since people were really excited for Headbender Caillou, and it is way too irrelevant nowadays. So, no Caillou videos for you. And let's move on to the last and final media reason I will and won't make a video about. Number 1, Family Guy. Unexpected to put it here, and the interesting reason I decided not to address with a mean-spirited adult animated series. I don't think I have a big reason why I shouldn't either, so get this. Family Guy was one of the biggest controversial for a very long time. Family Guy has been airing for over the years and everything went south and downhills like a plague and unrecoverable since then. Family Guy used to be good with quirky moments and relatable that the Griffin family was once likable despite some cringy moments and weird stuff at times before later seasons often. It was everyone's admiration that Family Guy was a traditional dysfunctional family but a heart of gold, dark humor, and relatable with memorable and even moral to teach the lesson. People would still enjoyable for family bonding. But now, Family Guy has gone to the south since season 8, and it's full of flanderization, mean-spirited, unfunny, gross shit, making everyone dumb and stupid, etc. And unfortunately, it never recovers and has stayed overwhelmed with cash cow bullshit. The writer was doubled down constantly trying to be funny with edgelord and controversial jokes, but only ended up backfiring horribly. Whatever is going on, Family Guy has lost cause and considerably beyond redemptions, since not only does the writer not take criticism from fans, but is severely downgraded and inconsistent that the Griffin family were more unlikable and completely asshole, especially Peter and Brain. And most of the modern episodes are pretty bad also, especially one of the infamous episodes that shit on backlashes. Controversial after controversial, with no point of improvement. Not that I haven't watched Family Guy over the years, and Family Guy is not that funny anymore. Even The Simpsons were once going downhills, since season 11 or whatever that is, depending on which season started to suck, but at least The Simpsons are sort of starting to shine and become relevant again, since season 32, I guess. Something Family Guy refuses to involve and glow pair that remains painfully unwatchable with too many bad seasons through and through. I can see people were requesting me to make a video about this show, but Family Guy is definitely not my vibe to make this, and it is meaningless. Because people were talking this shit way too seriously and lose their shit whenever mean-spirited happens, especially Meg Griffin's. Every time they did something happen to her, they immediately freaked out and paint nearly Griffin family are the bad guys situation and worship her like she's a goddess saint. And talking shit about Family Guy is beating to a pulp and is pointless. Not to mention, Fox keeps airing the show over the years and desperately cash grab the shit out of it for views with unfunny dark humor, overusage of shot humor, an abundance of bad episodes, etc. Up to seasonal ruts and how worse it has gotten. I feel bad for people who worked with Family Guy over the years, and Fox refuses to let them go and keeps them hostage just to have the audience keep watching, even though they stopped watching with a lot of bad seasons. In the end, covering on Family Guy for the video is a bit of a stretch, and better off not touching on that. So, what is, this show doesn't deserve any attention and just moves on with my life and better things to do. And please end the show already, you cash cow grabbing piece of shit. And that's all the list. I won't make any video about. It's good to decide to make a video countdown when someone gives me an idea and goes an explanation of why I don't have the plan to make a video for any media or user, as mentioned earlier. I don't think I have any conclusion, hence how exhausted I have been making a video. Nonetheless, I already decided a long time ago that I'm planning to do other stuff and think about positive videos that I like or probably any random shit for the videos. Because I'm kinda starting to get tired of being too ranty. Well, regardless, I'm still making a video about what I don't like or any problematic users today. It would be nice to try something new to exchange positive video, if that is sacrilegious. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time in the videos.